welcome, welcome. I'm just waiting for things to normalize and stabilize. So yeah, there we go. Hi, and welcome to Phoenix Wright Stream 29. We're almost at the end. We're starting case 4 today. I checked the anime. I think I've mentioned it on a few other episodes, that there's an anime. The anime has, which is the first 3 games, has 35 episodes. I am hoping that it won't turn out to be 35 streams as well, but it might. But still, either way, we're almost at the end. 2 more cases, I think. And I went back and I got the recipe, what was it? Foreign words trophy. I had missed one thing. And I didn't need to go back far. But, here we go. We saw this last week. Now let's actually play it. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. Sorry, I missed one. A message popped up. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Fugitive data. Terry Falls. Kidnapping, murder. Sentence, death penalty. Fugitive movements. After escaping, Falls met with and then murdered Sergeant Valley Hawthorne. Recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Hi Ash. Yes, it's a blast from the past again. Another Mia case. And now I missed that entire dialogue box. It was a whole year before Mia and I met. 6 years earlier, Mia Fey, first trial. February 16th, 9:24 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Hi! Welcome. Good to see you. And hello to you too. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm gonna die. Let me just switch a little. Never should have accepted this case. Oh! Aw, thank you. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I don't have any fun bit badges yet, but I am working on it. I have, things going on up here. Ah, good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing. I swear, I didn't kill nobody. Terry Falls, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? I'm sorry. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. Aw, thank you. I hope your day gets better. Nothing else. There's chocolate. Chocolate always helps. But Mr. Falls, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. It does. And hi, Lauren. Sorry. I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Oh, pizza rolls. Pizza also makes the day better. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Oh. Ooh, I'm really sorry. Ooh. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believe that Terry Falls did it. After you escaped, did you meet the policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Ha. Hello. You're not going to figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big, scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. You know what? I'm not gonna go there, but I would like to play with him. Yes. Where is Mr. Grossberg? Ha. That old man is probably still in bed. I kinda did go there, didn't I? Whoops. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Speaking of that, I'd like a beer. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. I didn't say. So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No. You got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine an escaped death row convict for first client. Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. Huh, relax. I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Oh god, is it Edgeworth? I bet it's Edgeworth. Really? Oh, we know it's Edgeworth because he's the cover art for this episode. However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned a reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple, childlike voice, I just had a feeling that he was telling the truth. February 16th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Falls. That's a new guy. What's that one? Ooh. Is that the guy who was the judge when, during the Mask the Mask case? I don't remember what he looked like. He was only in there for like a minute. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers. Yes, Your Honor? I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutor everyone's talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia, you can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Falls was responsible for her death. You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statements. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Falls, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. What? No? You only have 3-day trials. How could it have been a long trial? Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. A witness's testimony. The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. Yes. She arrested Mr. Falls at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Falls throw his young victim into the river. He's the younger brother of the main judge? Well, I just assumed it would be the same guy because I didn't think they'd draw a third dude. I'm warm. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be exactly the victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Aha! I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind: to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. I'd say he's pretty biased, isn't he? Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty.
Objection!
I'm sorry, what? But wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Watch yourself, Miss Fey. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. Excuse me, Edgeworth. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Oh, shut your mouth. You young person disrespecting me. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Exactly. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I called the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. Gumshoe? Okay, I just need to... Stabbed with a knife in the back. Died from blood loss. Died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. How did the judge not get a card? So she was a detective at 18. What world is this? A bit smug. Yes. Yes, a bit smug. Dubbed a genius as soon as he started as a prosecutor. Today is his court debut. What? Ugh. That is just badly written. Sure, he's been a prosecutor, but if he hasn't prosecuted anything until now, this is technically his start. Kind of. Just, ugh. Okay, sorry. Gumshoe? Is it Gumshoe? Hi! Witness. State your name and occupation. I guess. Gumshoe. Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am. You got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously, my heart, it's aching for you. What? She looks nothing like Maggie, by the way. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir, right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran under the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir, I gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area right here. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. Ugh, bridges. My following on, or my followed channels on Twitch right now is so full of poly bridge. I'm just a little overwhelmed with bridges. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. Don't you even. Don't. How dare. Both of you, how dare. I see. Dusky Bridge map added to the court record. I got my eye on you. Don't forget, those badges, they can disappear. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? Don't you sass me, Ash. The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. There's so much talking, I'm always yawning. Your Honor. If you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me, as though I were some hoser. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. And by the way, that's his first cup of coffee. In case we hadn't already figured out that he's Godot. They have the coffee too. Summary of the incident. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. I have so many objections to that. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. Stop calling me kitten, and stop looking at me like that. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, don't you wink at me. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. That's suggestive. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, alright. Especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean the defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. Huh. You got me there. Maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you got, kitten. Well, it's okay, Mia. Stay calm. You know it's serious when they Photoshop the background away and it's just a black screen. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all last night watching. Summary of the incident. Cross-examination. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Okay, my first... this is just before the game even does anything. You've seen... You know I haven't played this game before. I've only played the first two. Here's what I object to. Sure, we know someone called, but how would they know that she asked... whoever asked to meet? We don't know that. Was the call recorded? If so, give us the tape. Okay, that was my first annoyance. But let's see what the game throws at us. This unknown person. You have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Falls. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Falls. A note? Yeah, a top-secret memo that she left in her desk. Exactly! This does not conclude... whatever the word I'm looking for is, to unknown. It is, however, hearsay, or maybe false testimony, or I don't know. I don't know. It's something. It's one-sided. Yes, all rookies. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Falls. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Huh. Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. Is that detective's fault. He's the one who said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Yes, Edgeworth. Okay, let's look at the note real quick. Falls, 4:30 at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Dahlia? Who's Dahlia? Anyway. Okay, this one I no longer have any objections to. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge and at the designated time and met with Mr. Falls. Well, maybe the part where they decide that she met with him, as if no one could have, you know, heard the other end of that phone call. A bridge up in the mountains, but why meet there? Because it is a very important place to the defendant, that's why. What do you mean by that? If you remember, 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. Okay, I'm warm, but I'm cold, so I'm gonna put my blanket back on. Hang on a moment. Let me just... There we go. There we go. The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Mr. Falls. Ha! Returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. We already established that you don't know that's where she was murdered. Because there are no blood trails. No blood. Yeah, so no. Was the body of the victim discovered right away? Yeah, we were really on the ball. We found the criminal within 1 hour of the murder. It was great. We even got to say, "Don't move, we've got you surrounded." Wait a second. Isn't there something weird about that? The location was a suspension bridge up in the mountains. So how did they find out about the crime so quickly? Sergeant Hawthorne must have mentioned the phone call to someone else, right? Huh. If that's what had happened, then she wouldn't have been killed. She never mentioned the phone call from Mr. Falls, but she left a note on her desk about it. If only I had noticed it earlier, maybe she'd still be alive. I wonder why she didn't mention the phone call to anyone. Okay, I'm gonna go grab a cardigan real quick. Don't move. Because, yes, I was about to yawn just one more time. So I'm just gonna grab something so that I stop yawning. Let's get the blanket away. And... Oh, okay. Okay. So the 3-day trial didn't exist yet. And by the way, I'm not, it might look like it, but I am wearing stuff underneath my hair. I know it might have looked like I was not wearing much on camera, but I was. The criminal stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. So, here, this also annoyed me. His car trunk? Where did he get a car from? If he stole a car, you can't really call it his car. And... yeah, no. Rude. Mr. Falls had a car then? Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. Yeah, I know they're referring to the car he was operating, but still. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? I hate that they use two abouts in the same sentence. I love this game, and I wish they would fix it so that it's actually, you know, good with the language. This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. Crime photo added to the court record. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. Huh. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. We're talking about a woman here. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back, nice and firm. I'm pressing everything. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange. Do you? Anyway, Mr. Falls was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. That certainly is some impressive police work. Well, no, actually it was way too close for comfort. We set up that checkpoint just after 5 p.m. Figured that Mr. Falls might just try to run. What do you mean it was too close for comfort? The two of them arranged to meet at 4:30 p.m. And it takes approximately 30 minutes to go from the bridge to the checkpoint. That was kind of close. Any later, Mr. Falls would have slipped right by. Listen up, kitten. There's a big trap waiting for you in that testimony. It's a trap? Walk into it carelessly and it will leave more than just a flesh wound. Fun, huh? No, it is not. Well, if you want to have any chance at all, you'd better get some more information. So that's what you were referring to. You were actually literally telling me, don't press on that line of thinking, because the case will be over. I appreciate the warning. And if you're going to get caught in a trap, it's best to get caught early. You can always look for contradictions afterwards. The ever-famous contradictions. I sure hope I can find some of those. Okay, so let's save, since Ash just told us there's an instant game over here. And I don't want to redo this entire 33 minutes that I've been streaming. You literally said I wouldn't press that line of thinking, Mia. It might make the judge feel sure about the guilty verdicts. Is that not a very subtle hint to me that there's a game over? Oh, okay, fine. I thought you had the wiki open just to see how smart I could be, or how not smart I could be. Okay, let's look at the photo. I feel like there's something in the photo. Well, okay. Yeah. So, I have something. I do have something. Yeah, I do. So he stole a car at a red light, right? Remember how they said that just a minute or two ago? If he stole a car at a red light, did he not get the keys with that car? I would think he got the keys with that car, right? So why is the lock on the car busted? Does the ignition key not unlock the trunk too? What's going on? Why would he not just, you know, grab the keys out of the ignition and just open the trunk? Why is the trunk lock busted? I never knew there was such a thing as a valet key until late shift. I don't remember if that was on the stream, but there was when they talked about the valet key when I was doing all the things. Well, I've never owned a car myself. I've, you know, had access to cars. I don't know if that's a thing in Sweden. We don't have valets. Maybe that's just a US thing. Why does it... That's really strange that a valet key only has the ignition. Because, I mean, at a hotel, wouldn't you need the valet? Yeah, the valet would need to pop the trunk. And anyway, in newer cars there's a trunk release by the steering wheel anyway. Okay, we found the thing we need to object to. So either way it's weird. Okay, we pressed on that. Well, newer cars lock the trunk. At least my parents, both my parents' most recent cars have not had the trunk locked if the rest of the car was unlocked. So you can pop the trunk separately with the key fob, the beep beep. But if the car is unlocked, the trunk is unlocked. And if the engine is running, you still can't pop the trunk. So you need to take the key out to pop the trunk. Big mystery. Big mystery. Mechanics of cars. Yes, we pressed on that. We pressed on that. Pressed on that. Pressed on that. We can now press on this. This is a new statement. Okay, so yeah, so let's press on that. What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, ma'am. I didn't do it, I didn't do nothing. That's all he says. Nothing? I wouldn't say he did nothing. And yes, I'm saying nothing instead of nothing. Because I don't want, you know, 20 million recordings of me saying not nothing. But I guess once is enough, so fuck it. At the very least, we know he stole the car. It's just what he always says, Your Honor. And then he always says, sorry, I told a little lie. Or something like that. Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. Okay, let's present. No, wait. Wait. I can't present. I do see something strange. Can I present the photo? Let's present the photo. I did just save. Your Honor, what do you think of the witness's statement? I don't think anything of it. How about you? I guess I don't think anything of it either. Okay, so that was wrong. Then we don't have a problem, but we do have a penalty. There wasn't a problem. Couldn't you just let it slide? Okay, so I've pressed on everything. Oh, she could have died before the car was stolen. The note to meet at 4:30 and wear a white scarf. And talk to Dahlia. So A, she could have been killed before the meet. We only know. Actually, we don't even know. We might know that he was at the bridge at 4:30, but she was in the car already. She could have been stabbed at the bridge and have been there for... No, have been dead for 30 minutes by the time he got to the bridge. Is she wearing a white scarf? She's not wearing a white scarf. So how do I object on that? And who the fuck is Dahlia? Okay. I hate when these things happen where I know what I need to get through, but I don't know how to get them through. Because she doesn't have to have been murdered there. And she wasn't wearing the white scarf. She doesn't need to have been murdered at 4:31 when they met. And obviously the photo, presenting the photo at the photo does not work because she was not wearing a white scarf. Presenting the note on the photo? Let's try that.
Objection!
I did it. Witness. What is this? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that. Oh, you should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. Say there, little kitten, want a piece of my coffee candy? Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Oh, come on, Mia, shake it off. You're a lawyer. Detective. Yes, ma'am. This photo. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note? It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like, thus the special request. Oh, I have one very simple question for you, detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. Oh. The caller told her to wear it to identify herself, so I'd expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you are searching so desperately for. Is it this one, perchance? Well, that's blue, so no. Ah. Where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. But why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. Yes, because that is completely in line with chain of custody. It's the safest place I know. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. It's not exactly white, as the caller requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. It looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. Scarf added to the court record. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is alright with you, isn't it, Miss Faye? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business. Or not. I haven't looked at it yet. I guess I can't examine it. Fine. Yes, we're done. The prosecution moves to establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Falls did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Oh, everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? Question. Wasn't the entire first case all about how Edgeworth has never lost a case? Well, the second case, I should say. So we already know that we're gonna lose, right? I have a feeling so, right? Anyway, events on Dusky Bridge. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. How did she really turn her back against him when the other end of the bridge from her was, you know, a big fat hole? That must have been when the scarf fell off. Looking at this photo. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. You really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. It is about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say it was a well-intentioned third party. Aha! A potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Because in normal reality, you're not allowed to be in the courtroom until after you've testified, so that your testimony doesn't get tainted. But maybe that's not the case here, because no one has any sense of actual due process. Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Witness's photo added to the court record. So, as you can see, Terry Fox had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again. That's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. Oh, hang on. What do you mean, Events on Dusky Bridge, cross-examination. Actually, there's an eyewitness. It was there when the incident took place. I just want to look at the photo again. So he's holding the ball and chains with one hand, and he still managed to overpower her and stab her with the knife that he got. Where? Let me just remind you. One car? Sure, there might have been two, but one car, the bridge, a big old hole. So they both came from the same end of the bridge. And she is behind him on the bridge. She has the hole on her side of the bridge. So she's trapped on the bridge behind him. Unless that hole isn't actually a hole. But anyway, let's press this. Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. Female college student. That's right, meaning she's female and a college student, ma'am. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements. That is all. But what is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rely on the vague testimony of a female college student. A female college student, eh? It means she's female and a college student, sir. You absolutely must hear her testimony. You'll have to give us a good reason why. Oh. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. The victim is wearing a scarf in that photo, alright? So, about the witness who took this photo. What was this person doing all the way in the mountains? She was taking photos of wild flowers, apparently. There are many unusual types of flora on that mountain, Miss Faye. People in the area say it's because of the spirits that live there. So is it spirits? Now that you mention it, this photo, this cloudy fog-like thing, is that a ghost? I don't believe it. No, Your Honor. No, I don't think it's a ghost. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Drizzling, huh? That's right. There was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. But not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now. Looks like a cold front just moved in. In any case, the point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on the bridge. It was really something. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Oh, hang on. I meant to press. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. She pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach. Hang on. There's no mud on her jackets. Did she fall down on her stomach on the bridge? Because they'd still have to walk through the mud to get to the middle of the bridge. There should be mud on her jackets. Am I overthinking this? I don't know, because this game has the strangest idea of what you need to know and what not. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. I've never heard the word brutal, unless he means brutal. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or are you the one getting pushed? Does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. Oh! There we go. Explained. Yeah. Huh. Save your nasty look for the right person. Huh? Take a look. Poor baby. The court record seems to have wet itself. Hey, watch where you spill your coffee. The court record, huh? No, nothing. What's it a mix of? Something and poodle makes a brutal. I can't think of a dog species that starts with BR. Did I miss anything? No. So in other words, there was a struggle between the criminal and the victim, huh? That's what the witness said. Wow, it looks like she didn't remember about the scarf. From what she said, it sounds like a pretty violent fight, ma'am. Brussels Griffon and Poodle. The area was wet from rain. The bridge was probably wet too, which would explain why the scarf was all covered in mud, but there's something about this testimony that's still bothering me. Huh, talk about a surprise. I had no idea there was a photo. So what do I do? You really still believe him? Mr. Crybaby, I mean? Of course I do. So the little kitten believes in fairy tales, huh? In that case, the answer is obvious. What you believe is the truth. And that means that somewhere hidden in that testimony is a contradiction. One huge contradiction waiting to be discovered. That's your chance. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident first took place. Okay, well that I don't need to press on. But why the hell was someone out taking pictures of flower in the rain? Okay, what is my objection? Is she wearing the hat here? She's not wearing the hat either. So here's what I'm thinking. That is not the victim. That is someone who looks close enough to be in a photograph dressed like her. But it's not actually her, because the victim was already dead at this point. And that is why she's wearing the hat. And why the scarf is blue, not white. Or maybe the scarf was actually the victim's. The scarf looks close enough. The jacket looks close enough, I guess. But where's the hat? And we still have the time of death thing. Well, I've also played, like, what, 13 cases at this point? And still, there should be mud. So her hair, is that close enough too? Well, with the hair being covered by the scarf, we can't really tell how long the hair is. And there's a set of buttons under the belt. But we can't tell if there's a set of buttons under the belt. And the top buttons are covered by the suspension. Okay, I don't know how to get out of this. I will happily admit that. I still don't know how to get out of this. The scarf fell off and got muddy. That if he pushed her down, as he said, then her outfit should be muddy. It's drizzling? Well, we can't tell if she's, you know, slightly wet in this photo. Because, yeah, no. We can't tell that it's raining here. And with the ball of chains that he's holding, and the fact that, where the fuck did he get a knife? Did they also, like Edgeworth, have a knife in their trunk? Because she was already dead when she was put in the trunk. And the lock was already broken. So... Where was the scarf found? Which side of the bridge are they on? They showed that earlier, right? They just didn't mark it on the map, but they were on the side where the car is. Feel free to give me a hint here. I got the hint. This is what we were doing. Wait, the crime scene photo? Do you mean the crime photo or the witness photo? Just making sure. Crime photo, okay. So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Huh. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the conditions that day? I mean, her hat is gone, yes, but is it the mud? She should be wet. But we can't tell from the photo that she's not. Not. Okay, so mud, so just anywhere on the body? Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. Dusky bridge was all wet. The victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge. Then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. Ugh. That's exactly right. The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. Of course he has a playoff beard. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet, but not muddy. Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Welcome to this game. They have the legal league. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? The surface of the bridge, huh? Huh, a real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Huh. Here is the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. This would be the scarf, right? Let's just go with the scarf. The evidence is this scarf. Oh, it should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud. He still makes that face. Oh, no, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Hey, same to you, buddy. Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? Alright. It's not like he's really giving me a choice here. Huh. You're doing pretty well for a little kitten. Mr. Armando. No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? False evidence. It's one of those three. What you said just now, I'm not sure I like it. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said that. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into court. But we won't let him. We'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes. The false evidence in this case is the witness's testimony. No. Photo? Because, see, I'm confused. Because the witness, when they say the witness here, are they referring to Gumshoe or the unnamed college student or both? Because the college student took the photo. But Gumshoe is the one actually literally testifying right now. Fine, the photo. About the photo that the prosecution claims was taken by a witness. It certainly seems to show a man in a prison uniform and a woman in a coat. However, we can't tell any more than that from the photo. Are you saying the people in the photo may not be the victim and the defendant? Well, that's certainly a possibility. So perhaps it was another prisoner and policewoman. I admit, people have their quirks. Perhaps they were part of a role-playing group. Well, I suppose that's also possible, I guess. You messed up again, kitten. Mr. Armando. There should be something else that's even more suspicious. Now think the whole thing over again. From this point on, Miss Faye, I will penalize you for making unsubstantiated accusations. Ugh, don't do it, Mia. Don't cry until you get home. In any case, this court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blah, 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 blah. So, the false evidence is the testimony? It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. Huh, it's not just true, it's the truth. Dude, if there was a truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy Wonder over there would have called him in the first place. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Huh? Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Now, let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. Dahlia? This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. Is it Dahlia? Witness, what is your name and occupation? Isn't that Phoenix's ex? Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Oh. When I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donut holes. That is very inappropriate. Do not ever compare a woman to something that involves the word hole. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. Don't tell anyone you want to bite them either. Hey, not so fast. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. Isn't she also a murderer? Isn't she the one who murdered what's his name from the first case? When she tried to frame Phoenix? So is this... This is just very confusing. So she's... Is this... In the first case of the game, when we first met her, they said that she had been involved in a murder before. But that was actually like the 4th murder she'd been involved in, because this is not the same murder. I am very confused. It would be better if I actually remembered the first case a little better. But, yeah, I'm very confused. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Miss Faye, you could learn a lot from this man. If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Sir? Yes, my dear. This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. I love the amount of use in that fuck. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. Not at all. It's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. Wait, what? I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo? Is that accurate? How can you be so mean? Yeah, Vanessa? No, Melissa? Now, see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that? Huh? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Next time I'll be forced to penalize you. Uh-oh, I don't like the turn this has taken. Is she staring at me? And you would be? Huh? I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Faye. Huh. I see. So you are... Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. The witness's photograph. Witness testimony. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were 2 people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. No? No, hang on, wrong photo. This is not a photo of someone fighting or a crucial moment. Girl, you drunk. And right after that, I called the police. By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here. I was standing right over here. What? Hang on. Oh, okay, that's the edge of the, okay, fine, yeah. So she doesn't see, you know, the end of the bridge. I was standing in a beautiful field, surrounded by tall cliffs. So you took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. What a cute camera, just like its owner. Camera added to the court record. Alright then, Miss Faye, time for your cross-examination. Let me just look at the camera real quick. Huh. Hi, Nikki! How are you? But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. The witness photograph. Cross-examination. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Let me just save. Again. You know, let's save over this. Because there are no bonus trophies in this chapter. I already looked. Hold it. Did you say wildflowers? Yes, the mountain is famous for its beautiful spring wildflowers. In February? I swear I'm psychic, but it's only February. Well, I couldn't wait for spring to come. I know just how you feel. It's just like when I first started growing this glorious beard of mine. I just couldn't wait, so I wore a dyed blonde Santa beard until mine grew in properly. Would you mind if we got back to the facts of the case, Your Honor? Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Was there anything strange about the two of them? I'm a bad girl. I know I am. It looked like they were having a really serious conversation up there. So I decided to watch them, like some kind of peeping Tom. No, not at all. Everyone is like that. I love watching other people fight too. In fact, I can't get enough of it. You are a peculiar man. Actually, that's why I took this job in the first place. Very peculiar man. Too much info, Your Honor. In any case, it's perfectly natural for you to have kept watching them, especially dressed as they were. In a raspberry beret. I was trying to think of where I knew that line from. Dressed like she was, something, 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 raspberry beret. Well, anyway, I was watching them very closely. Suddenly, they just started fighting. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? No, I have no idea. Why did you ask that? Oh, I just thought that maybe you overheard what they said. Oh no. Oh no. I would never eavesdrop. Thank you, that's the line I was looking for. No, wait. No, I was talking to about the line between dressed like she was, something, 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 and then raspberry beret, the kind you find in a secondhand store. raspberry beret, and if it was warm she wouldn't wear much more. There's a line between dressed like she was. She asked me if I'd do her any harm. Or is that the wrong place? I don't know. Whatever. I don't remember the lyrics to Raspberry Beret when the song isn't playing. I've got more class than that. That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drag the witness down to your level. Oh. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. Why did you take a photo? Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. Yes. But that's the wrong place for that lyric. I guess that part of me just kinda took over. Smells like a lie to me. Yes, I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. Okay, he's Canadian, a hockey player with a, you know, all kinds of issues if he wears a fake beard. So I'm betting astronauts. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. Oh, that's even worse. So he wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this. All I could do was use my camera. So I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police. And right after that, I called the police. You called the police? Yes, because it looked to me like the murderer was going to try to escape. We were already moving before the call even came in. Thanks to the victim's note, we had already started our operation. That was certainly tough luck for the criminal, eh? Cherry Falls isn't the criminal. Then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kitten. That girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're going to have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. You're going to have to come up with something really good, Mia. Okay, what do we have? Was her name Melissa? No, Dahlia Foster before, or has he changed her name as well? I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. Or is she using someone else's identity? Hawthorne. Huh. So she's not actually Melissa. Oh my god, they're sisters. Thank you for saying Hawthorne. Valerie Hawthorne. Valerie Hawthorne and Dahlia Hawthorne. That's why... Oh my god. This is even deeper than I thought. Because she says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. So there's a lot more going on than we think. Now I'm even more confused. Valerie Hawthorne and Melissa Foster are sisters. But does that mean that this is the case that they were talking about in the first in the first flashback? I don't know. at 18 when Dahlia was 23 and 19, 14. So whoever the murder victim was in the first case is the same age as Melissa. Did Dahlia know the first victim? Or is that just, you know, the game being dumb and not thinking I'd make that leap? She was the key witness, and she was there working, but... Huh. Okay, I still need to figure out what the hell the thing is. She was using her camera to take some pictures. Is this where we present the camera? Because we must have gotten the camera for a reason, right? I mean, they wouldn't have two Hawthorns if they weren't actually related. The game has so many absurd names that if there are two Hawthorns, they must be related. Right after that, I called the police. Okay, you know what, let's just do what we normally do in this, and this photo is not the crucial moment, so screw you, girl. Witness, when you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see is this photo. In this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Well, you see, the photo we presented was the only one there was. Why didn't she fucking turn on video? It's a powerful camera, of course it can record video. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Duh. My apologies, young lady. Miss Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. You can certainly downplay a situation, can't he? I'm sorry, I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean. You ran out of film? Oh. It's that long ago that the digital cameras weren't a thing. This photo was the last one. What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself? Then who took the photos? Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took photos of yourself. I remember taking some photos of myself once too. We really don't need to hear that. Please, no details. It seems that Miss Fay's assertion was not so decisive after all. But wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes. Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk. Huh. It looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wild flowers. Then I noticed there were two people. Oh, this is the same thing. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but she only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Wait, hang on. I did press suddenly they just started fighting, right? Let's repress that, just be safe. Do you have any idea what they were fighting about? Oh, right, the eavesdropping. No. Blah, 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 blah. No. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but... The victim? Why do you think she tried to run away? With her police training, she certainly knew better than to turn her back on a criminal. This was a large, powerful man with a knife. If it had been a quaggy woman like you, I'm sure she would have acted differently. Excuse me? What did you just call me? Quaggy? Why you... Psychic, I tell you. If it had been me, I probably would have jumped into the river. That made me think of Yesterday by Guns N' Roses, by the way, in case you were wondering why I zoned out for a moment. There's still something wrong with this testimony. She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. So you're saying Sergeant Hawthorne wasn't able to get away from him? Well, it's a narrow bridge, and it was swaying back and forth. If you ask me, both of them were in danger of falling off. I only wish I could have done something to help her. That seems to make sense. I wonder about that. Something seems kind of off. Huh, does it now? You have a good sixth sense. When you feel that something's off, that's when you need to figure out why. Terry Falls isn't the criminal. Then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. Be careful, kitten. That girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're going to have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. Yeah, you said that already. Percent. We're gonna go with this. There was nowhere for her to run, so the map. Witness, your testimony is a joke. Huh? What? But I just... Miss Fay, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say there were two contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then, she would have hit a dead end. You say 10 yards, but she couldn't have even ran 5, because Dusky Bridge is collapsed on that side. What does all this mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court? Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. But what do you mean? There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say? What are you referring to? Yes. It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying... I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous. You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. Yeah, fuck you. That guy's good. Huh? What do you mean? He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, alright. That diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? A coward. Well, Miss Faye, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself. No. It wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Running from the crime, witness testimony. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Sorry. Witnessing such violence must have been difficult. Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up. He accepts this testimony as is. We're finished. Don't say that. Oh well, maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet. Huh, that's what I like to hear. Alright, Miss Faye, your cross-examination, if you please. Contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. She couldn't see the car from where she was standing. That's a contradiction, right? After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Are you saying that the victim didn't fall down the bridge? Fall down on the bridge? Actually, maybe she did fall. Of course she didn't fall down on the bridge. If she had fallen down, this photo wouldn't make any sense. If that was the case, her coat would have been all muddy. If you don't mind, I was asking the witness. No need to be so rude. Well, young lady. Of course she didn't fall down. The man in the prison uniform grabbed her before she could. We're on one step too slow. And then, what did the defendant do after that? Then he carried her over to the car. You can't see the car from where you're at, bitch. You personally witnessed that. Yes? Did anything strange happen when he did that? Well, I don't know if you'd call it strange or not. But that's when the victim's scarf fell off. You mean this scarf? The words match what we found at the scene. I don't see any problem. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. You mean the defendant carried the body all by himself? Yes? Considering the size of the defendant, I don't think it would be difficult. Well, he was still, bald and chained. Yes, but let's remember they were on a narrow bridge that was ready to collapse. Is it even possible for him to have carried a dead body on a bridge like that? Well, the fact of the matter is that he did. That kind of talk is just silly. Wow, why did he get so emotional all of a sudden? Miss Faye, if you think there's some other possibility, please share it with the rest of us. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it? Yes, but that mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there. But it's February, right? And it was raining that day, correct? There's also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. You know those monks? They just love cold and isolated places. I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse would have been found at any time. Could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. And you're absolutely certain that it was my client who was carrying the body. Well, he was wearing a prisoner's uniform, but as for his face, you're saying you didn't get a clear look at his face. Well, they were far away, and it was raining as well. I thought I was only supposed to say exactly what I saw. Excellent! You're a remarkably honest young woman. Something about this testimony is bothering me, but what? Hey, kitten. Have you ever put salt in your coffee? Didn't you just tell me I was too young to drink coffee? No, why would I? Why not? Huh? It may actually go better with coffee than sugar, right? Huh. Listen, my point is if you're not sure, you might as well add a ton of salt to it. It might bring out the rust in something, like a piece of evidence. He's right, Mia. Go present something. You've got nothing to lose. Oh, right. By the way, I wouldn't put salt in my coffee. The two don't go well, after all. Okay, so we're gonna present that he carried her over to the car because he didn't, or you don't know that. Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence. I'm sorry, but I think the only thing out of place here is that pointer finger of yours. That could very well be. Here, take this penalty and try thinking things through again. What? What's the problem? Pointer fingers are made for pointing. Wait, did I present the wrong thing? I didn't. She couldn't have seen the car from where she was. Okay, let's save, because the game is obviously ready to fuck me over. Oh, you're only supposed to talk about what you saw. Okay, now we present this, I guess. Your Honor, what do you think? Okay, so another penalty for the wrong statement. Okay, where am I supposed to present the map? Because I only have 2 wrong guesses left, and there are 3 places I haven't presented it. Just tell me, please. He picked her up. He didn't carry her to the car. The body stayed hidden. Okay. A killer not wanting his victim to be found. I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Ah. So the fact that you couldn't see the car wasn't the right idea right now. In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at that same spot above the Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body into the water. Order, order, order. I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Faye, but I must admit it does seem odd not to have thrown the body into the river. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? How sad. Perhaps Miss Faye will do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Miss Faye, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. What the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. That's certainly consistent with what the witness has told us. Ugh. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. I'll try. All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. Who is he talking about? Alright, I'll do my best. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the... Okay, well, let's just go with this one, even though we know what we're doing. What did the man do then? Well, naturally, he got into the car and was about to flee. That's when I came to my senses. I said to myself, you have to call the police. And so that's when he called the police. Yeah. You're sure that you saw all that with your own eyes? Yes, I'm 100% certain. No. Okay, well, just in case, we're gonna save again. Well, Miss Foster, if that is even your real name, it looks like you've done it this time. Huh? Done what? Made a crucial mistake. A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Faye? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car, which, by the way, he didn't have to do if he carjacked them and had the keys. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes. Yes, and... It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car. This outcropping of rock is directly in the way. The fucking rock is even in your fucking picture, you dumbass. Sorry. Aha! That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Ah! Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car. No! Order in the court. What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before stating her testimony. And she knew that he broke into the trunk, or someone broke into the trunk. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Oh. Mr. Judge? What is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. What? Huh. Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando. Don't look back until the trial is over. Now is the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk? Aha! Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness? Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk. Because there were marks left on the trunk lid. You still haven't explained how you saw the car. I'm certain there were scratch marks from when he broke into it. What? Let me see that photo. Yes, there are. It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken into. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied? The judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. What she just said, is there a contradiction in there somewhere? Yes. Melissa Foster. It looks like you've finally betrayed yourself. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. But even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally. I've finally got her. Huh. I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. And perhaps it would be faster if Miss Faye explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was... The reason was... She put the corpse in herself? She's not the owner of the car because the car wasn't scratched when it was stolen. She happened to be passing by. She was on the other side of a mountain. How was she happening to pass by when it's all the way around there? So it must be that she put the corpse in herself. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes? What is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that... I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Falls had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open. Ha! I told you. But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition. Oh, I see. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Falls that put the body in the trunk. No! Perhaps preposterous to even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time she was taking photographs. Now is your chance, Mia. Finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about this. What I'm saying is that the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. But we know it has a timer function, so let's just go with that. Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why? It's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Faye? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field, as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the camera's auto timer, then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? And answering that question will also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? Right here? I did just save. Naturally, the witness was right here. But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Order, 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 Miss Faye, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could only have been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine. Of course Mr. Falls met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Falls. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness's photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Falls met on that bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Falls himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You're just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? I've got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Falls had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like because he asked her to wear a white shawl. Mr. Falls had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Falls who requested that she wear the scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. I'm warm again, sorry. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? No. Oh, fuck. She just passed out. Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. Yes. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Do I finally get a save? Very well, this court is in recess. Yes, I do finally get a save. Well, this is thrilling, to be honest. Yes, I do want to say. Okay, so let's see. That's that. So let's save here, because I don't need to go back over anything here. February 16, 1:14 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Mr. Falls, I'm sorry. I want to say thanks. You're real good. You really hooked me up. Thanks, we're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime. Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information, right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing, I didn't kill nobody, I never lie. Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. In a good way or a bad way? This picture, it reminds me everything. Do you even English? Bridge looks same. Just like then, 5 years ago. You don't even English. Like it could fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute. It's true, I did. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Wait, what? Your girlfriend? Huh. Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Dahlia Hawthorne. Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? The girl, let her go. Shut up. Come closer, and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first, I thought shooting someone for kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betrayed me. Betray us. What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping too. And make-believe kidnapping. Dahlia. My girlfriend. My love. My teen angel. How old is he? 25. So he was 20-ish at the time? Dahlia, deceased. She was 14 at the time. And Melissa Foster was also 14 at the time. But they're the same person. So whatever he was charged with, sentenced for, didn't actually happen. Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. I'd do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie too. Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get one jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We sent it to her dad. Asked for $2 million diamond. Tell him to make exchange on Dusky Bridge. Sorry. We tell him Valerie make transfer because she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright. In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman... That woman, Valerie, she'd do it for real. She'd shoot at me for real. Me and Dahlia. I was shot in the arm. Dahlia, she jumped in river. Jumped? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below. These 5 years, all I wonder is why? 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 Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I told her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her, just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear answers come from her mouth. That is all. So that's why. That's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, zebra boy. That is just so rude. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls, where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really, I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia. With Dahlia? That day, on the bridge. Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone, with Dahlia. Gone, forever. Into Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her. My sweet Dahlia. They never found her. Swallowed by river. Gone. Dahlia. My teen angel. Your teen angel. How old was she anyway? Just 14. 14? I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth 2 mil. Man oh man, angels these days. Falls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really a... It's time, kitten. It looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeves now. You bet. Diamond added to the contract. The training wheels come off now, Mia. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. Okay, I am just real quick gonna go use the bathroom. I will be right back. Yes, sorry about the cliffhanger. Apt word, by the way, considering where the case takes place. So, we already know that Dahlia's alive. Hang on just a moment. Sorry. We already know that Dahlia is alive because Valerie mentioned her in the notes. February 16, 1:49 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Sorry, I forgot to turn off my, my thing. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best. You're a brave young lady. No, she's a fucking psychopath. Not only did she frame her boyfriend for murder, her own murder, she also killed someone later at 14. And she's been, you know, pretending to be dead for 5 years. How does this not count as a losing case for Edgeworth? That is just insane. Not this again. I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She should be. Because she fucking killed her sister. Speaking of psychopaths, I totally blanked on that part for a second. So at 14, she fakes her kidnapping, fakes her death, hides for 5 years, still in contact with her sister, kills her sister, doesn't get in trouble for killing her sister because she then dates Phoenix a year later and then goes to prison for killing someone. This is just outrageous. My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. How the fuck does she get off from this murder? What possible reason could a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. Her motive. My brain just stopped working. Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of motive? Yes, of course, I think. You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Mr. Armando. Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning like that at me like that. Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge? Of course, Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like. Yes, I made that sound more pervy on purpose, but it's still pervy. I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true. I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. It looks like this witness is a real professional. But what do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Well, I don't think I could be as pervy as the judge really is. I mean, I'm pervy, but I'm not, you know, predatory pervy. He's predatory pervy. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Speaking of click, my lamp broke. I stepped on it too hard, and it's one of those with a footstep button thing, and the button dislodged. So now when I step on it, nothing happens. I need to unscrew that and stick it back into place. That has nothing to do with the game. But it's the lamp that you see right over there behind my shoulder when I'm streaming on the Xbox. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. Melissa Foster's history. I was out of the country until a year before last. Until I entered college, I had never been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case. Melissa Foster's history, cross-examination. I was out of the country until the year before last. Hold it. So, what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed. It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification. What kind of sob story is this? What do I do? Should I press her for detail? Yes. Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case. I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne. Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you just stated to the official testimony? Yes, please, Mr. Judge. Naturally, I didn't know either the defendant or the victim. Or the other way around. You didn't know either person? Are you certain of that? Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people. Oh well, that can't be helped. Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth? The first time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct? Yes, it really was a coincidence. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors, picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing. You don't look much like a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to. Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty, and its cold yet romantic gloominess. Didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? The prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is that she is a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Thank you, she's really gone too far. Miss Faye, you're treading on thin ice there. I hardly said anything, talk about sensitive. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Well, that's... Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing. Oh really? And why is that? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that at that time an officer showed her this photo. That seems like a rather serious mistake. That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. That's not fair. That wicked inmate, I'll never be able to forget that horrible day. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. A grudge? Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such a deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. Huh. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well. What do you mean by that? Your client, he forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Fox is kind of forgetful. Fuck it. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of an identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. This is bad. Mr. Falls's reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with that last statement? I think we need to have it added to the testimony. Your Honor, what the witness said just now is tremendously important. I'd like to have it added to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point. But no, that's not why I... Enough. Witness, if you would. My pleasure, Mr. Judge. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. What do you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn a white scarf, like you said, then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. It looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten. Mr. Armando. Keep looking around and you're going to lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to talk. Kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. You knew about that incident? Weren't you out of the country until the year before last? Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. They had an in-depth report about his whole history. So you were still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right? Yes. Can't let her get away with these lies. Listen to me, she's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow you're just going to have to get her to show the court her true self. I was out of the country, blah 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 blah. Okay, what do we have? Wait, did I? Yeah. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. Are you live now though, Ash? Let me check if I'm having issues on my end. I can't, it doesn't look like I've lost any frames. Oh, Nikki doesn't have issues. Okay. Thank you, Nightbot. Let's go through this one again.
Attention!
What was she wearing? And how did she know about the white scarf before now? Is that the thing? That she didn't know about the scarf? Did I press on this? Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you yeah, I did. Blah, 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 blah. I'm feeling really dumb right now. Again. Hi, welcome back. I don't know what you missed, but I just said I'm feeling really dumb again because I have no clue what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't think I've really done anything since you apparently started having issues. She was out of the country, she didn't know anything. I was thinking about that. She's lucky she wasn't wearing a white scarf. Do I present the scarf here? Because this scarf is technically blue. Yes, because I only have 2 mistakes left. Witness, I want you to look at this photo you took. It's hard to see in the photo, but look at the scarf the victim wore as identification. Ah, you're talking about this scarf right here, eh? Yes, that's it. The scarf the policewoman was wearing. Oh my god, she said white scarf. She's not supposed to know that. I've got her now, just don't mess up. But that's strange. In your testimony, you stated the following. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. White? This is the scarf you identified as belonging to the victim. But it certainly doesn't look white to me. Oh. Well, we already had that discussion when it was introduced, but yes, it was blue because... Well, it was foggy that day, and it was raining as well. It's not surprising she mistook it for white. Sorry, but not this time. The witness just confirmed that this was the victim's scarf. Yes, but what's the significance? It's true that the scarf doesn't look white, but there's only one explanation for this mix-up. The reason why the witness thought the scarf was white is... Witness, have you ever seen this note? Note? No, never. It's top secret evidence. There's no reason that you wouldn't. I wonder about that. What do you mean? This note shows Mr. Fall's instructions to the victim regarding their meeting. It says, wear a white scarf for identification. White scarf? Ah! Witness, you knew what this note said. And it's because you knew that you slipped up and mistakenly said white scarf. Well, Miss Foster. Or should I call you Hawthorne? No! Order. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right, a person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... the victim from 5 years ago. And that person is Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There's her name right there. What's this? So who is this person? This is Dahlia Hawthorne. Miss Fay must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. You said she was killed. Killed. But was she really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off of the Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster, I believe that's the same age you are. Ah. Even you couldn't. Miss Faye, you're not saying. So I was wrong. I was thinking that they faked Dahlia's death. Or they said that they had someone else killed and pretended it was Dahlia, so they misidentified the corpse. Yeah. I didn't think they completely faked her death. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Huh, nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. If I can expose your true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now is my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. I was about to say something dirty. I will not. Well, I've been watching a lot of Chicago Fire this past week. So yeah, I might be slightly addicted to watching arson. Witness, just who are you anyway? I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say anything more, witness. Yes, I understand. But what? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean... Yes, the prosecution's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. What did he say? Huh, it looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go. No way, but then why? If you hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't gonna say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. But I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well. But, well, as you can see... Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder. Really, Miss Faye, I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost. How dare you? Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious, her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. What? I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Faye, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister? Well, you see, I thought I was winning, but somehow he's turned it around on me. Huh. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. Ah, that wasn't me. It was this guy, this crazy coffee addict. I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. Huh. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. Ah, I am sweating bullets. You think you're in a tough spot, huh? course, aren't I? No. You've just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you. Up to me? The rashness of youth. How charming. Says the youngest person in the room. Well, second youngest. But Dahlia, the fucker, doesn't count. This coming from someone younger than me. Exactly. Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Faye. What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne? Money? Has this changed? No, it still calls her Melissa. She wanted her to come clean. Let's go with that. The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth, and nothing but the truth. There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie, to keep her mouth shut permanently. Terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Faye. What was the secret that was so important? Okay, now I'm saving. Here. Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh yes, I know the secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago. We believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Ugh. Very well. I'll grant your request for further testimony. I know it'll be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little make-believe? Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge. Putting on the old charm once more, Dahlia. But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. Yes. Yes. 5 years ago, witness testimony. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister, Valerie, brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe, after all that, she murdered her sister? Preposterous. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Faye? Yes, Your Honor. As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. Huh. If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up. We've still got that info, the ace up your sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. That's right, it was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby. I'd do anything she says, anything Dahlia says. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by, yeah, me and Dahlia, and Valerie too. Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. Well, what do I have to present for that? I don't have anything to present from that. That's our secret. 5 years ago, cross-examination. Five years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes, as a tutor. You're tutoring him, Mr. Falls? No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14. He probably came up with a kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls. Did I hear him right? Did you just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? Yeah. The ransom prize was a raw diamond. My sister, Valerie, brought it to the bridge. I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million. $2 million? It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk. Isn't a pint of milk like this big? Like big water glass? Like a pint is half a liter, right? What the hell? Okay. Sorry, Ash, I didn't see your messages until now. So a diamond that's half a liter size of fluid big is only worth 2 million? That's crazy. $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that. The defendant demanded that her sister, Valerie, make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety. What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is. Yeah, right, it was all your plan. Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain and... after she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That was a dangerous thing to do considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually, that saved my life. What do you mean? You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow I just knew he was going to use it. She looks super tiny there. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. You were behind him there. Oh. Well, half a liter is still, you know, a good estimation. I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me. I was dazed. I turned to try to run away. Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second, and he gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin. Bloodthirsty grin. Ooh. And in the next instant, I advised the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift. I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. Crumbling bridge, nowhere to run, and just one little shove from behind. That was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. And that's why you hid your identity. Yes, I only told my sister. Valerie Hawthorne, eh? Yes, she's the only one who knew about me. Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years. I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. It's the moment of truth for this witness too. Once the truth about the staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is. I've just got to prove that kidnapping was a hoax. Okay, let's just... I forgot to press on the last one. So you decided to change your name and identity. And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right? Yes, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of. That makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all that paperwork would have been impossible. Sorry, she was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you think I killed her? There's no way I could. Ash? I think you might need to close that tab now. You've spun out of... You're free falling, much like Dahlia was 5 years ago. Yeah, we just went through that. Okay. So the diamond. After she made the exchange, but you had the diamond. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I meant to press it back. But now we get to see this lovely fall again. The sister brought it to the bridge after she made the exchange, but it doesn't say who she exchanged it for or who she gave it to. The diamond was still in the backpack, and we need to get her to mention that, right? I get that you're trying to give me a hint. You're not? Oh. That. Okay, never mind. Well, I'm thinking a lot of things. Yes, he had a motive because he was actually in jail for a crime he didn't commit. I mean, he did maybe slightly commit the kidnapping, but he doesn't deserve to be on a death row because the murder didn't happen. And Valerie is the one who said that he killed her. And Yeah, I'm just... Okay, this is because I'm getting tired. I'm just a little confused now. The ransom prize was a raw diamond. And I bet she lived well on that diamond. Yes. We think so, at least. He was shocked, he pushed her off. He could do that with one hand. Yes. She didn't say which hand he pushed her in with. The map. Yes. But she had nowhere to run. We know that the bridge had a big hole back then too. This one? Yes. Yes, I'm just realizing that. And if she jumped down the hole, she would land on the rocks 40 feet down. She'd have to climb through. Okay, so the photograph on this statement. Let's save. And try that. No, that was wrong. That's the you're wrong thing. Damn it. I get what you're trying to do, but I don't understand where to use what. The map, okay. Okay. Fine. You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible. Impossible? I ask that the court recall the condition of Dusty Bridge now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind, as you claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. Most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. Oh. You're right. If the events occurred just as the witness had testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this? You see, Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Hawks panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. Oh, this is where we used to photograph. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct? Now that you mention it, I do remember now. When I fell off the bridge, my skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wire. You can't be serious. Order in the court. It seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. You were saying? Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. But what? I believe your reasoning when something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her over the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous. What's so impossible about it? Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record. This one? Yeah. Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. No! And let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge, that is clearly impossible. Order. What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? Indeed, what do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had a gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. $2 million. Oh, then what was it? What was so important that she'd want to jump into the river? Let's save again, just in case it's not $2 million. The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of Eagle River. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond. Oh, no, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. The $2 million. She was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Why, that's simply ridiculous. Order, order, order. Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? Yes. But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia, and then she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do? She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her notes. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched a demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. Who's that? Laughing at a time like this? Forgive me, it's just hilarious. Witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman, Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. Well, And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that. Well, Miss Fey, I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? Or how can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. Really? To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me, and there's nothing I can do about it. Huh. Without evidence, the trial is over? Who decided that? Mr. Armando. Come on now, Kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered his sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fall's stolen car, and then went to meet with... What? That doesn't make sense. How did she know where the stolen car was? So he was just waiting there? Yeah. Actually, that makes sense. He was just waiting there for Valerie, or actual Valerie, to show up, and then he got Valerie, and the real Valerie was dead in his trunk. Because, yeah. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about what Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who is this one person who can testify to that demon woman's crimes? Well, that would be our client, right? Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in this photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all. And that person is Terry Falls. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me. Mr. Falls? I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive. And you were used for $2 million. That's not true. Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago, on Dusty Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne, or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia. Did you betray me? 5 years ago, she promised never ever betray each other. Terry? Dahlia. It's true. You are alive. You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad. Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you. I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there's one thing I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry. Yeah. I will allow Mr. Falls to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Okay, he's gonna confess, isn't he? Witness. Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Oh, water, please, water. Can't talk, need water. Huh. Oh well, I guess I'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself. Oh! Who Terry Falls saw. Testimony. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked. Then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Miss Fay. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Huh. Well then, Miss Fay, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is this how you wanted to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence. There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten, I think. Cross-examination, which I Falls saw. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you? It was raining, already dark, too. You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes. Mr. Falls. Eagle Mountain, that's strong, strong memories. Why did he just climb up? Could it be he's hiding something here? She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct? Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it. I'm sure he is. Silver Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question. To find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like a blink of the eye. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put no body in that car. You were watching the car? That bridge, other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So, I was watching car. What else were you expecting him to do? I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting that feeling. Contradiction? Well, he just said it was dark, so yes, a contradiction. I wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway. No one lives there. There's a small shrine up the mountain. That's it. Anyway, nobody came. No car. Nothing. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne? I never lie. It's truth. It was Valerie. I remember her face. Wait a minute. If you had remembered her face, then why did you make her wear a scarf as identification? Sorry, I told a little lie. But the woman I met, she was different from the woman standing here now. She was different. It was Valerie. We talked, then she left. What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls. Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied. Got me the death penalty. And were you satisfied with that answer, witness? Dahlia died. It was my fault. But I don't really remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did push her in. It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet teen angel, dead. But you just saw that she isn't dead. After Valerie talked to me on bridge, nothing left to live for. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. How can you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was at 5 o'clock. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do. That woman, it wasn't Dahlia. Stop right there. One more needs to be said. even if it means the death penalty, even if it means taking the blame for the murder. You'll still do whatever is necessary to protect her, won't you, Mr. Falls? I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's being cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her. Mr. Falls, even if you can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. You'll still have to point out the contradictions anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess. Okay. What is the contradiction? Died between 4 and 5 p.m. Well, if she died and was stuffed into the car, he would have seen it happen. He must have seen it happen. No, this. No, never mind. I fucked up. Never mind, I ran out of health. Let's try that again. Yep. I actually can't figure out what to do right now. How did she move past him? So, she's standing with her back towards the gap. We've already established that multiple times. So, at some point she walked past him to get the photo. Or to get to where the photo was taken. So he couldn't have seen. He wasn't looking at the car then. I'm sorry. I watched my car from the bridge. Well, sure, but I mean, that's not contradictory enough. He watched the car and then she came. We only have a snapshot. Hey, Mr. Disagree. Yes. Yeah, she did stand in front of him. You got a VIP badge? I don't know how you got a VIP badge. Wouldn't know who put the VIP badge there. We talked and she left. She wasn't there. Was she there already? If she came there first, she didn't have to walk past him. Well, I already died once, so let's try again.
Objection!
So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well, then I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying. Huh? Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Faye. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first. Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Mr. Falls, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to the special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah. It's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love. A memento? 5 years ago, I hid it under base of tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I want to get. That's the fucking murder weapon from that other case. The one she gave Phoenix. Holy shit, this case is complicated. This little bottle on a necklace is your memento. It's quite charming. Yes, it's a charm. We get it. But it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. But he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. No! Indeed. There certainly was enough time for it. I've still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Falls? That's enough. Please. Witness? I promised her 5 years ago. Did he just fucking drink whatever was in it? And that's why it's empty now? He pulled a Romeo and Juliet on us. If it ever happens that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink bottle. No, stop the trial. Your Honor, we need a recess. I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this. No, We're so close, just a little more. I was going to prove your innocence. No, don't want that. Don't trust. Self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia. Again. Mr. Falls. Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee. Mr. Falls. Well, shit. What? And so my first trial ended. Suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul I thought it would never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person, the true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Unforgivable, that witch. Mr. Armando. We were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Don't cry, kitten. You're going to make my coffee all salty. Oh, fuck you and your coffee. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia. Oh, there we have it. The music. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. Well, the only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Aren't you Mr. Edgelord? Mr. Armando, you're bleeding. But you're already wearing red, so I guess it's fine. No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. So Phoenix doesn't know. We know, but Phoenix doesn't know that Diego Armando is Godot. 1 year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. How did she get the necklace back? Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. Yes, the only thing edgier than the coffee thing would be if he put on a dumb mask. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect, angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over. At least that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all this. Have we noticed until now that Phoenix was in a hospital bed that entire time? He had an IV. Episode 4, Turnabout Beginnings, the end. Trophy earned, Turnabout Beginnings. A brand new episode has been added. I just realized, I thought it was like a lamp or something before, but that I just realized that he was in a hospital bed. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna end the stream, but let's see what happens next week. Just real briefly. Yes, I do want to save. Fine. Yes, there's good. Uh-oh. Oh! The treasured Korean village heirloom, whose name means seven-branched sword, Shishishito. Uh-oh. It is said that this sacred sword represents life itself. Though the branches may appear to be infinite, the choice is limitless. Like our destinies, the sword comes to but one end, one merciless point. This is intense. Hey, bitch. And when the silver cord, the fragile thread that binds us to this world, is severed, the illusion is revealed, and the implacability of fate is finally laid bare. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but let's go with it. February 6th, 9:48 a.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Hey, Nick! Yeah, what is it? You know I've got spiritual powers, unlike you. Sure, you are a spirit medium after all. But just like you, if I don't keep my powers sharp, they get dull, right? I guess so, yeah. Glad you agree. Okay, Pearlie, you're up. Pearls? So, that's why we need to go on a special spiritual hotspot tour, Mr. Nick. Huh? I'm lost. What's this magazine you're shoving in my face? It's a New Year's issue of, oh, cults! Winter Spiritual Location Special. Oh, Pearls looks so happy. Maximize your spiritual powers with just one night of intensive training. Oh, it sounds too good to be true. I'll say, it sounds more like a scam to me. It's at a spiritual retreat called the Hasakura Temple. It's way up in the mountains, and I bet it's nice and cold, just perfect for training. Now I definitely don't want to go. You know, I think I've heard of this temple before. It's a famous channeling dojo. Oh my god. Is it really the temple just beyond what was the bridge called? Days Bridge place at the Eagle River. It's hard for even real spiritual mediums like us to make reservations up there. Reservations for temple? Are you serious? Dusky Bridge, right. Don't worry, I've already made special reservations just for us. Yeah, and I signed up for the special course. That's nice, and the timing couldn't be better, since we don't have a case right now anyway. Alrighty then, it's settled. Well, come on, don't just stand there. Start packing your stuff. Yes, Mr. Nick, you'd better start packing your stuff. Huh? Me? Why do I have to go? Well, we have to be accompanied by someone over 20 years old. Hey, I don't have anything to do with spirit powers. The only thing I can channel is the TV. So, is there a heated pool at this Hasakura temple? No, but you can stand under a freezing waterfall. Sorry, but I think I'll pass. I hate cold places. What? No way! How could you be so selfish? Come on, Miss Pig, look at this place. Doesn't it look beautiful? Nope, not going. I'm gonna be nice and toasty at home. What the? What is it, Mr. Nick? Let me see that magazine. This nun. Is she a friend of yours or something, Nick? This girl. It's... My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's a honor for me to be here in your noble presence. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? You disgust me. But it can't be. She was found guilty and should still be in prison. Mr. Nick? I'll go. Huh? Hazakura Temple. I said I'll go. Yay! Isn't that great, Pearl? Yes! Oh, thank you, Mr. Nick. You'd do anything for Mystic Maya, right? Even walk over burning coals, right? Oh, coals. New Year's issue received from Pearl. Dahlia Hawthorne. I knew there was no way she could possibly be at that temple. But I just had to see for myself? Again, really? Who this nun really was. February 7th, 3:24 p.m. Hazakura Temple, main gates. Ooh, it's so cold here, Nick. Maybe you should put on something warmer for a change. But, well, it's supposed to be cold. It's training. Her teeth are shattering so loudly. It's all I can hear. It's all I can do to make out what she's saying. Wow, Mystic Maya, so this is the famous Hazakura Temple. Pearl, Well. How nice to see you here. Welcome to our temple. Oh, thank you. Oh, my. Thank you for coming all this way. Come now. You must have been cold. Oh, oops, wrong button. What's with the past tense? We're freezing into human popsicles as we... Well, we are high up in the mountains after all. In any case, we shouldn't speak here. Please follow me inside. Thank you. I was starting to think I would... Oh yes, I almost forgot to introduce myself. I'm the head nun here at the temple. My name is Bikini. Bikini? That's right. Actually, that's my temple name. What do you think? It's a tradition to have one, and I wanted something that has a nice image to it. So I thought, why not choose a bikini? Besides, it makes me seem younger. It certainly does. Oh, I signed up for your special course. Well, my, quite brave of you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you become one with those who you channel. Reckless? Maybe you should take it easy tonight, Mystic Maya. We can come back another day. But you went through all that trouble to get reservation. Yes, that's right. You've come all this way, so please enjoy yourselves. There's still time before supper, so why don't you have a look around? Okay. Main hall. Ooh, it's freezing in here too. It reminds me of the meditation room in Fey Manor. Pearls, you've been in an unusually good mood since we got here. Well, kids are made of energy, you know. As for you, Maya, you look like you're about to catch a bad cold. Well, I'm not exactly a little kid anymore, I guess. Is she gonna make it? Okay, so nothing here. Move. Main gate. Move. Suspension bridge. This might be the same bridge. It is the same bridge. Wow, look at this broken down old bridge, Nick. Yeah, and look at that big canyon below us. Hey, there's a river down there. It looks like it's flowing real fast. What's wrong, Nick? You look like you've seen a ghost. I'm just not very good with heights. Oh, hey, I've got it. Maybe you should face your fear and try hurling yourself off the edge. You know, 1, 2, 3, jump. It might be just what you need to get over your fear of heights. Yeah, death is a really good way to overcome phobias, alright. Anyway, it sure looks like a rickety bridge. Can't argue there. That's probably why it's called Dusty Bridge. Read it again, Maya. It says Dusky Bridge. Well, it's practically the same thing. Yeah, so this is where a murder and a half took place. And everything is super complicated. But now I'm confused. So the flashback that was case 4, does this take place after this case? Since he doesn't know of Dusky Bridge yet? Strange. Very strange. But that is something we will find out next week. Thank you for hanging out. I have completely forgotten several times that Friday is Midsummer's Eve in Sweden. And my mom wanted to spend time with me. It's considered a family holiday. So Friday's FMV will actually be moved to Saturday. I don't normally stream on Saturdays. But yes. Thank you for hanging out, and I will see you Saturday, not Friday. Bye!